Many years ago, I was in a dance company, a professional dance company, and the director of the company wanted to bring the girls. That's all she was ever cared. That's all she ever cared about were the girls, quote unquote, to ballet. But she didn't start out with ballet. She started out with a lot of the modern dance techniques first. And then she slowly incorporated one or two ballet exercises, and she introduced them. And at the end of the thing, they all looked like regular ballerina. And all the guys, of course, men are just more physically capable than women, period. All the guys were already ready. She could have done that for the guys day one, but she had to build up the women's muscles. Ballet is not the easy thing that you see. Of course, if you have to actually go to a ballet and there is a ballet master in the thing, you're going to see some amazing jump, feet, twists, turns, jumping pirouettes, all that sort of stuff, right? That's the men. And then you're going to have the man and woman together, and then the woman is going to be thrown up in the air by the man, pirouetted by the man, lifted by the man. You know, it's the focus is going to be the woman, but the man is going to do all the heavy lifting. But the ballerina is going to appear majestic. I said all of that to say that is what I'm trying to do with my channel, with my business stuff. Here we go. African American private equity investor to focus on minority-focused financial institutions. Let me go over that sentence right quick, because that title for a lot of you isn't even going to sound like English. African American, you know. Private equity, you don't know. Investor, you know. To focus on minority-focused financial institutions. Now, that last part, you can piece together each word that you'll understand. But the crux of this is the private equity. That's exactly what I'm trying to do with my group. I've gotten a lot of absolutely positive feedback. Now, he's already doing what I'm trying to do. There's room in the space for more than just him. Here we go. African Americans are highly underrated in the financial sector. Frederick D. Scott, a reputable African American private equity investor, announced on Monday that he is creating a venture capital and private equity firm that will invest in and acquire minority-focused financial and banking institutions. Quote, "My goal is to redefine and advocate for economic sustainability and wealth creation in our community," said Scott. The minority banking industry, more specifically the African American-owned banking segment, is fragmented and under tremendous pressure from larger and more robust capitalized mainstream competitors who have embraced the growing diversity of the marketplace. I believe that in addition to capital, I can contribute fresh energy and new strategies that would improve the competitive posture of African American owned banking and financial service businesses, as well as advance the mission of multi-generational economic strength and wealth creation in our community. If you're like the average person, you're probably not 100% familiar with the responsibilities of a private equity investor. In a nutshell, they invest money and sometimes businesses' skills in privately traded companies to help them become profitable. These investors also buy failing companies and try to turn them around. One example of Scott's stunning track record in the industry was his impeccable work as the head of ACI Capital Group, LLC, ACI, an investment banking and advisory firm that managed with $3.7 billion in assets. He was named Ebony Magazine's Top 30 Under 30 in 2010. At 26, Scott was the youngest African American hedge fund founder in history, according to his website. You know, a lot of those accolades I think are just dumb. Youngest, first woman, first black. I think that's stupid. Who cares? I don't care about that. Is the person successful or not? That's all I care about. Now, I had a knockout, drag-out argument with this guy. You can do stuff for people without money. And I said, you're a fool. You're a fool, you're a fool, you're a fool. For what I need to do, I need $500 million. You don't need money. Hold up, fool. If somebody tells you they need $500 million to help people, we're not talking about running around hugging people. We're not walking around talking about handing out food. We're not talking about smiling. I just don't understand the stupidity of people. And of course, the person was poor, and he was a Buddhist. He was a Buddhist, so we should listen to him because he's a Buddhist. No, I need $500 million to take and build and construct infrastructure in the Black community so we don't have to go to anybody and give them our money. If I build 200 10,000, 50,000 Black-owned businesses in a city, in a Black community, in a Black neighborhood, those businesses are going to turn around and do what? Hire Black people. If I set up credit unions in the Black community, they're going to do what? They're going to hire people. They're going to loan out money to Black businesses, to Black individuals to buy houses, to buy cars. And it goes in a circle, in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. I create the Black business. Who hires Black people? The Black people earn money. That money goes to Black businesses. And round and round and round and round it goes. The Jews understand this. The Latinos understand this. The Russians, the white Russians understand this. The Armenians understand this. The Greek understand this. I'm talking about all of the people in the United States. They create their own little pocket thing. And I get people say, stop this tribalism. Stop. We don't need no tribalism. Stop your ignorance. This is about money. This country right here is about money. Your freedoms are being taken away with money, about money, for money. Oh, thank you for coming, Mr. Obama. Now that you've been newly elected to the presidency, we're going to tell you what this is about. This is about money. You have to do You have to do this. I know that you had all these lofty goals and these lofty ideals, but this is about money. And here is the real problem. We have Black people who create Black businesses, and they are successful with one business, and then they sell it to Koreans or Indians or whatever. They have absolutely no thought to the future of what their, first of all, what is their son going to inherit? Nothing. We have white people with one business that's successful, isn't even growing, and it's in the same family for 200 years, right? I know you know them. Such and so's great granddaddy started the business. The grandfather, so that's 2 generations down, expanded it. The father blew it up into 5,000 franchises, and now the son inherits all of that. I can't even get Black people to understand that. No, don't sell your business. Expand it. Make it $1 billion business. And for a lot of you, that's going to sound like a lot of money. That's not a lot of money in business. That's still small cap. A lot. Go look it up. Capitalization, business capitalization. That's your word for the day. So no, I am hoping that Mr. Scott is investing in the Black businesses, not to acquire them, not to strip them, tear them apart, and sell off the assets. I hope he's not doing that. That's who is that? Romney. That's a Romney type of thing. Or no, who's the guy in Rick Perry? That's a Perry type of thing. Rick Perry, Governor Perry did that. He was in that investment firm that went around buying businesses, tearing them apart, firing everybody, and selling off the assets to make the money back. Now, that's completely legitimate. That's fine. But if you do that, the problem with the Black community is if you do that, you're going to end up with nothing. Why? Because there is not 10 people standing behind that successful Black business owner who are going, there's not 10 people who's going to drop right into his shoes to start that very same business again, more successful. We have to turtle for about 100 years. That means we have to start businesses, create this infrastructure in our community, and you need private equity. You need investors who are going to come in and invest in the business, invest in the infrastructure, who's going to say, yes, this has an ulterior motive, and it overrides any business interest that interferes with it. Like, we want to have an exit strategy in the next 5 years for our investment, which means they're going to take the company, strip it down, and sell the assets. Everybody's fired. and nobody actually gets anything worthwhile to them, right? When I say strip the assets, I literally mean they'll sell the freezers, they'll sell the refrigerators, they'll sell the utility van, the moving van, the transportation van. Yes, somebody got a van, but they didn't get anything like that's going to generate massive assets of what the company was actually doing. You know, you could take apart a $500 million company, sell off all the assets, and nobody's going to get rich off of any of those assets because they're all a bunch of, peanuts compared to the actual company. And then, of course, you destroyed probably 100, 200, 300 jobs in the meantime. So this is my hats off to Frederick D. Scott. I want to be where he is. Look him up. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.